What's up, guys? If you want to get on the next Mailbag show, then make sure you are subscribed. That way, when I put a call out to get your questions in, you don't miss the chance. So make sure you hit that big red button. And also, later on in today's show, it's letter time. I'm going to read the letter I have penned to Vic Fangio. First of many letters we're going to send to Mile High, so make sure you stay tuned for that amongst all the other mailbag questions we're going to get to on today's Broncos Breakdown. Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson. A couple questions lined up that some of you guys commented. We'll go through some of the great comments you guys have left on previous videos. And then, like I just mentioned, we're going to read the letter I wrote to Vic Fangio all together, a little bit of a group reading session. So here's the first question. Let's dive right into it. All Out Broncos 1858 said this: should the Broncos re-sign Melvin Gordon and Kareem Jackson or let them walk into free agency? Good question. Always see you commenting All Out Broncos, so appreciate the good question. But here's my initial reaction. Gordon, no. K-Jack, maybe. The reason being is just a running back at Melvin Gordon's age, they have a short lifespan. They just do not age very well, unfortunately, with how heavily they are utilized. They kind of tend to get run into the ground. K-Jack, he's definitely older, right? But he does seem to be playing like a lot younger. Let's start with Melvin Gordon, though. He's currently in his 7th season in the NFL and the final year of his contract. Javonte Williams, who has been a stud, was clearly drafted to be his replacement. So I would a little bit understand wanting to get another kind of 1-2 punch like they have right now. But Gordon has exceeded my expectations. However, next year, Williams is going to be the one, not really so much the two. And I think they're going to go a different route for that second option. I just don't want to. I don't envision them kind of reversing the roles next year. And that's why I think you can draft a running back in the third day of the draft, and you save a ton of money. Plus, if Gordon goes elsewhere and signs, he's not going to get a big contract, but he signs a decent-ish contract, you're going to get a comp pick for him. So it's kind of a win-win because you don't have to pay Gordon. You can draft a running back, and we know that running backs are great when you get them late. You can get a 4th, 5th, or 6th round back, and he's going to do probably just as well, if not better than Gordon would at that point in his career, and for a lot less money. On to Kareem Jackson. This one's a little more interesting. Currently in his 12th season, so you know he's up there in the age category, and that worries GMs. And also in the 3rd season with Denver. He's actually had an underappreciated season by a long stretch. However, I do think Caden Stearns, the rookie out of Texas, was clearly drafted to take over from Kareem Jackson. GM George Paton saw a great safety in Stearns in the 3rd day of the draft, and he looked at his roster. And I actually spoken with people that have worked in the NFL, and a lot of GMs do this. They take their roster, and then they highlight code every single player based on how many years left on their contract. So he looked at Kareem Jackson, had him in the red, and he goes, he's on the last year of his contract. We should probably look at drafting someone now to replace him. That year, we don't stick a 5th-round rookie out on the starting field. We can let him sit and kind of grow for one season and then take after. But if K-Jack wants to come back and be a cheap mentor on a veteran minimal deal, sure, I don't have an issue with that. I think he's played very well this year. So if you want to run it back and let him kind of split time with Kareem Jackson, with Caden Stearns, fine by me. I think that he has earned that right at this point, and he's been such a great signing since he came over from Houston. He's been a great safety so far. So, yeah, I'm not opposed to letting them run it back. With all that said now, pick one. Who would you want the Broncos to re-sign? Melvin Gordon or Kareem Jackson? Type MG for Gordon or KJ for Kareem Jackson. I'll make this the pinned comment. So if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll on down, reply with who you'd want Denver to bring back for next year. This is the moment I've been very excited for. I know all of you guys that subscribed asking for the letter have been excited for. So what I did was I typed out my whole letter and put it on the screen so we can all read it together. So let's get started. Dear Vicathy Fangio, I don't know if his real name is Vicathy, but I figured it would be important to do that. I pen you today on behalf of the Broncos Breakdown YouTube channel with 2 goals in mind. 1. All of us in Broncos country wish you and the team best of luck this Sunday against the Bengals. May I offer some suggestions, though? If you are thinking about challenging a play, stop. Ask yourself, should I challenge this? Then go, no. Recognize your own weaknesses. Next, tune out their cool white jerseys. Actually, wear your white so they can't wear their white Tiger uniforms. 2. Shall you lose? Well, given that I'm a 23-year-old YouTuber, I won't do much. But you can best believe the comment section of my recap will be popping. Best of luck Sunday, and make sure you like and subscribe to the Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. From Matthew Peterson. So that's the first of many letters we're going to send. We want change. If it has to come on pen and paper and ink, we will do that. Here's some freaking commenters, though. Let's give some love to the channel right now. Always see you guys down in the comment section, so just want to give you a quick shout-out. Elon Volk, Jacob Youngblood, James Martinez, Jack Bone, Nick Gaming, and if I missed you, just keep commenting more. Another question, we're going to get to this one a little bit later, but some people's responses to a great question we asked. We're going to pull that up right now, actually, then we'll come back to this. But first, I want to tell you about a great deal we have going on at Fanatics. Let's push this across right there. Great, awesome hoodie going on right now. It's a Broncos pullover. You can get it by Xmas. You get it by Christmas. I'm reading my own teleprompter. Get it by Christmas. $40 at chatsports.com/Broncos pullover. I got that link in the comments and the description of this video. So if you forgot to take a picture of this slide, no worries. But it's a pretty awesome hoodie. I like this pullover. So make sure you get that. Like I said, you have to use that link. $40, get it by Christmas, and make sure you get yourself hooked up with this dope pullover 2 days before Christmas. So now we digress a little bit. I asked you guys this question earlier on a show where I said, comment a Broncos player who is very underappreciated. And the responses were overwhelming, okay? And I just want to toss some of these out there, have a quick dialogue about some of these players because you guys came to play. Here are the responses we got for some underappreciated Broncos players. I'm the man said no Sean Moreno. God, such an iconic moment when he's tearing up on the field. Joel00111 said Al Wilson and DJ Williams. My only wish for those two is that their careers overlapped a little bit longer. Because what a fun linebacker duo that would have been if it wasn't just, was it 2-3 seasons together? But two studs, two great players, and absolutely underappreciated. Fernando said Willis McGahee, kind of like Moreno, another great running back that kind of just got lost in the mix just because of the time he was playing in. I think some bigger names stole the spotlight across nationwide attention. But you're right, absolutely underappreciated. Mike said Jeb Putzer, and that's a name that's an older name for sure. And anytime you can get, what was he drafted? Like day 3 for sure, 5th, 6th, 7th round, and watch him have a long-ish career, yeah, underrated, underappreciated, no doubt about it. And then my favorite one, Lord Vader. I couldn't fit it all, but he said the man, the myth, Chad Kelly. Excuse you, Swag Kelly. I think we're at the point now where we can all agree, like, yeah, that was not a good pick, but it was kind of funny looking back at it, but wish we didn't invest a first-round pick in someone like Chad Kelly. On to the next question, though. Who won the Von Miller trade? Coming in from Mile High 4L. Good question right there. I think it's pretty clear who won the Von Miller trade. The Broncos got a second and a third for him, and look what Von Miller has done with the Rams so far. This is not what the Rams traded for. No sacks, 1 QB hit, 13 tackles. He got blown up by George Kittle in that Monday night matchup with the Niners. I think this is a slam dunk. The Broncos won this trade. They picked up two picks, one in the second round, one in the third round. So let me know what you think. Who do you think won this trade? If you think the Broncos won it, type DEN down below. And if you think the Rams won it, type LAR in the comment section as well. I'm sending my DENs, though. I think this is a clear cut. Denver won this trade. No ifs, ands, nor buts or about it. So when you pick up 2 early picks and the Rams don't get much out of them, still it's early. It's only been 4 games. As of right now, the Broncos won this one by a mile. Benny Broncos asked this question, trade 3 firsts for Russ. Yeah, why not? I did a video about this earlier this week. I'll actually put the link to that video in the comments in the description in case you want to watch it. Because Russell Wilson loosely said, I don't want to get traded. But if I were to get traded, maybe I'd go to these teams. And he had the Giants, he had the Saints, and he had the Broncos. Now, 3 firsts for Russ, that's steep, but I would do it. And the reason why is if you get Russell Wilson, those first-round picks are likely going to be in the late 20s. You hope that he's taking you to the playoffs. So you're not going to miss a 27th, a 26th, and a 28th. And also, you drafted Lynch in the first round, right? First-round picks are always super fun until the draft and a couple of years go by and you go, that was a miss. So not more often than not, but more often than we think, first-round picks just don't pan out. So if you can get guaranteed talent, which you would get in Russell Wilson, yeah, I would send 3 firsts away for number 3. But let me ask you this question. Would you trade for Russell Wilson? He's kind of had a down year. I think it may have actually made him a little bit cheaper. I'm not really sure. I'm not in the GM front office circles. But type Y for yes or N for no if you would trade for Russell Wilson. That's going to pretty much do it here for our mailbag. But make sure you comment your questions down in the comment section. That way, when we do our next mailbag show, you can get yourself on the show. And if you've already subscribed, we appreciate you being a part of the channel. And if you haven't, we would love to have you aboard. So make sure you hit that big red button and subscribe today.